The other Egyptian gods are here, and they are not happy with Khonsu. But speaking of Khonsu, we have to talk about Khonsu's beef with the other gods. First of all, they set up like a Harry Potter portal. They get into the Pyramid of Egypt, and they have a council with all the other gods and avatars. And they're like, Khonsu, we don't like you. Why are you summoning us? Yep. You're gonna get a timeout, mister. And I'm like, oh my god, what are these gods doing here? But like, it was cool to see that like there's multiple avatars here. Yeah. I didn't like though, and I have to say this, the whole we're trying not to interfere in human affairs. We're only here to watch.
Where did that sound familiar?
And that's like the whole Eternals thing. It's like, how do we write around the like nobody wanted to help when Thanos was around, right? And like I guess that was their reasoning. I feel like you could have just said we just came here now. We saw that like things are going crazy on Earth. We left. We came back because of that. We don't have to be like, well, we were just here to watch. And maybe we'll find more about the lore and where they came from in the other episodes.
I think Marvel has a bit of an issue. They're all-powerful god beings at the moment.
Yeah.
Whether it's Uatu the Watcher, who clearly already broke his vow in What If. We hopefully we might see him in live action.
True.
Maybe in Doctor Strange, who knows? But obviously, like Rob said, Eternals had this same issue where you have these all-powerful beings. They're not interfering, quote unquote. And now these Egyptian gods with all their avatars and their powers are not interfering either.
Yeah.
They're going to have to explain this somehow, whether it's, the multiverse stuff, whether it's another version, or maybe in Moon Knight, they'll figure it out kind of how we go on. But I did really like the trial though.
Oh, that was cool of Arthur Harrow.
I thought the trial was cool. They brought in Arthur Harrow, who clearly was like, yeah, I've been here before because he was the first avatar for Khonsu. I thought it was a little weak, though, the explanation, where it's like, we're obviously going to take the side of this guy because we need the plot to continue, right? Where it's like,
yeah,
I've been telling you for years, like, this is what's going on, and Khonsu's like, dude, come on, like, this has been happening. And it's the classic, like, well, we're not going to listen until it's too late. Besides that kind of easy trope, I thought it was interesting to see where the other gods are, and I'd like to see what's going on with them too, because I doubt they're all innocent in this entire story
I don't
either.
think so. I think the Egyptian gods have their own rules, and this, like, I guess elite council kind of has their own agenda, because they've mentioned before other gods are here in statues. So yeah. I guess these are the only ones that are allowed to be out, and what they say goes kind of scenario. And Khonsu goes against that, and he's like, I'm gonna try to save people in my way, not the way you do it. So it makes sense that like this group, who majoritively thinks in the same way and how things are done, is gonna be like, oh, you're the black sheep, how am I gonna really trust you? And then it goes back, yes, there was some kind of beef with Arthur and Khonsu that the other gods are aware of, and they're like, hey, you didn't handle that right, and maybe we should believe the human because you're not as cool guy. Like they always had beef with him. So I think that's probably why. And maybe the stuff with Amit, maybe Khonsu and Amit had some like dealings or whatever, and he gets part of the blame for all the bad things that Amit did when Amit was on Earth.
It does feel like that, and it feels like the world's worst like HR seminar. Right?
Yeah.
Where like it's like, we don't like you as a personality, so the he said, she said is going to go with the person we like more because we have personal issues with you.
Yeah,
type
100%.
Thing. And I think one of the most interesting parts of this whole scene is Hathor, the goddess of love and music, who seems to have a past like something or other with Khonsu. Don't really know how that works with the
I'm just saying, a goddess of love likes the dark, edgy guy. Who would have guessed it?
With no face and a bird beak.
Some people like that bird beak. I hear Big Bird does very well. That's all I'm going to say.
Really? From who, Rob? Where do you hear Big Bird does very well on Sesame Street?
From Cookie Monster.
He's 3,000 times bigger than everything else.
I hear from Cookie Monster, Big Bird's got game. We go to the same cookie store.
I want proof of this in the future.
Well, it's secret. I can't tell you.
I do think that Hathor is going to have some type of kind of connective tissue to the story of Moon Knight.
Yeah,
going forward. Their past, and also the fact that she gives kind of the biggest reveal of the whole episode, that Amit's tomb was hidden from the gods where Amit was buried. Kind of implies like, oh, is Arthur Harrow mixed in with this, some other gods and all that stuff. I think that's going to be interesting. Like, gods are going to have like the pettiness of humans.
Of course.
Which we kind of see in this trial, right? Where it's like, come on, like clearly he's not doing this because
we see with Asgardian gods that they're fickle, and they're gonna
Loki.
I mean, exactly. Well, like, they're technically not gods or alien races, but still they're fickle. Eternal, same thing that we base some Greek and Roman gods on. They're fickle. Like, I get all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys for watching that video. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed Moon Knight as much as we did. Let us know down in the comments below what you think.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, really helps the channel out a lot. If you are new, subscribe, turn on notifications. You do not want to miss any of our Moon Knight coverage. And if you missed it, it's all over the channel for you. As always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Com Crew, and we will see you next time. Later, skaters.